everybody is so excited about this. There is an energy that is just effortlessly transmitted from you that people pick up, and they talk about you, and they say that you're angelic, and there's this deep, heartfelt desire to connect with you and hear your wisdom. So thank you for joining us, and I will hand over to you.
Thank you, Francesca. Well, Francesca and I have a deep soul agreement to just bring forth this Elven style work that feels like it comes from a very profound Andromedan connection between us. It feels like we stepped over into Earth at the same time. That's my sense. So it's very, very beautiful. And this is yet again, she's always keeps bringing these thresholds to me as a human being of new levels of sharing. So this is my first kind of group Zoom call, and it's amazing, completely magical that you're all here. That bowls me over. And also thank you, because you're sort of initiating this space and this experience and this level of sharing the work. So this is feels very precious and very sacred to me that we're here together. I can also feel that the energy is very, very strong amongst us. I can feel a very strong Lemurian connection waving through this group, and a lot of energy going through me. My hands are sweating, which is always a good sign. So yes, thank you for being here. So I really wanted to call this in. I'm sitting in my room, and I've got my little, the light isn't good if I turn it that way, but I've got my little altar here all lit with candle and sage and so forth. So I just welcome you into that sort of Elven Star Temple space for us to dwell in together for this time. And I would really love to call in the directions. Since there is a little shorting out on the voice that happens with the drum, perhaps I shall just speak them rather than drumming as well, but just to call in that sacred space around us.
Sorry, Ellen, I've just had a message that says, okay, so somebody's saying that I'm showing in the speaker view and not you.
All right then. Okay, so I'll just call in the directions. Kiretiane Toronia. I call to the east, to the temple of the sun star. Kiretiane Toron. Light of the rising dawn, sacred flame of inspiration. Koraniar Taetian Toronia. Be with us here. Contra. I call to the south, temple of the earth star, of the rocks and the stones and the crystals. Their silence and their holding, their listening. And the sapphire dream of the elders that is written within the earth. Be with us here. And I call to the west, temple of the moonstone waters, light of the evening star, the flow of starlight from one heart to another, giving and receiving, the flow of universal love, wisdom of the waters. Be with us here. And I call to the north, temple of the winds, of the stars, and the wisdom that goes beyond judgment of good and evil, right and wrong, to the silver wings of a deeper perception, a deeper wisdom. Be with us here. And in the center, in the place of source, of spirit, great mystery, of all that is and was and shall be, the immortal tree of peace, whose roots reach down into the center of the earth, entwining around the crystal at her core, whose branches reach up into the heavens above and the star realms beyond, connecting heaven and earth, above and below, in our hearts within, from where all worlds arise and vanish. And I call to the star elders and the Elven Ones, and to the immortal starlight soul presence of each of us, Kinyara Tianai, that each may receive what they most truly need at this time, for the highest good of all realms, all timelines, all dimensions. Kinyara Tian, Kitian. And I just want to call in as well the glyph that we're working with. So this, I'll just put it up to the screen. Is that looking back to front by looking in the screen? The back to front glyph. I'm sure it still works. So this is it's the fifth glyph in the silver wheel, and it's the teaching of the silver grove of the stars, and it's aligned with this moon that we're in now. So over the years, I received the teachings primarily by listening to the moonlight. And it was listening to the energy and the frequency of the moonlight through each moon while walking in the forests of Wales. And so if you notice, as you flow through the teachings of Silver Wheel, the full sequence, they actually move through the moons, and you only see that. It's not expressly put unless you see that as I venture into the forest each time, it's the forest is in a different season, and that's where you really see that. So we are sharing a teaching that's deeply aligned with these celestial and earthly energies that we are in at the moment. And it did bewilder me to some extent that this star teaching of the silver grove of the stars fell at a time when the earth plane is so rich and abundant and emerald and full. And I thought it was interesting. And I've since learned that there is this Sirius stargate that opens up in July, which I wasn't consciously aware of. And so that July, this portal, I'm now kind of aligned consciously as well as unconsciously with the fact that there is a cosmic expansion that is occurring, a galactic expansion for us naturally, energetically at this particular time. And that makes sense to me of the way I've experienced July over the years in a way I'd never previously known, but feels very, very coherent with what goes on at this time. So I do invite that spirit of expansion for each of us in the most beautiful and relevant possible way to those levels of higher divine purpose for each of us. And I think we are all in this lifetime really getting that sense of higher purpose. Our consciousness is aligning with higher and higher spheres of harmonic wisdom, and naturally from a place of deep love, not by trying to be good. We just naturally feel this part of us that is able to create something in harmony with the many realms, with these incredibly expanded fields of harmonic wholeness. And so that any given action that we perform from this level of higher purpose is interacting with the whole cosmos. And that the part of us that's a frightened and smaller human being who feels absolutely incapable of that and unworthy and all sorts of things is certainly still around. I can certainly speak from my own experience, but is holding a dwindling influence and gets quite panicky at the thought of the expanded energies and contracts actually from those. So in this energy of expansion, I also just invite in, and you don't have to be experiencing this. If you're not, you're not. You might flow very naturally into the expansion. But if there is that sense of contraction also, I just invite that into the space and welcome it, because it's actually a gift. It's what we're able to shift and to work with. And it's naturally sort of summoned forth by these very expansive energies. And the silver wheel can feel very vast and expansive. It's very vast. It's like the full star council for Earth and the many realms. It's so vast. And every time I travel around the wheel, it's like the glyphs, the full cycle of 13 glyphs literally come from that full expanded star council of the Earth, a really, really vast consciousness. So we are, by coming together in this space, we're actually coming into that sphere of frequency and energy, and it can feel very sort of expansive and almost make you sort of space out, make the human personality space out and not know how to construct a thought or an awareness, and yet the soul is resonating with a deep level of comprehension. So what I feel we're really working with is that integration between that sort of human self that's pretty spaced out by everything and doesn't really get it, and then that part of us that completely gets this. And we get that we're these old starlights traveling here to do this at this time. We have so much remembrance, but I just want to honor both the remembrance and the forgetfulness, because that's what we're working with. That's the gift. And each of us, by having that experience of forgetfulness to whatever degree, enables us to encode this pathway of return in an incredibly real way. So just to honor that, and that is what we're here sharing. So I wanted to move us into that expanded remembrance, and I'm sure many of you do have an awareness of your star connection in quite a transparent and a clear way. And this is, as you can feel with the Elven star energies, what happens is it's not just remembering where we come from. It's not just holding that as a piece of information in our soul. It's this really profound and beautiful experience of suddenly moving into this activation and this crystallization of how that fits in here. That it's very applied. It's not about belonging somewhere else and finding ourselves sort of landing and not knowing how to give that gift. It's or how to be something so different in a place where there's still so much density. It's actually this, it's almost like silver wheel activates this state where suddenly all that starriness and that otherness within us is, it's activated and able to be and to give its gift, and to flow into the whole. So that's also the invitation of this space. So what I was given was a practice just for us, first of all, that I want to do 2 transmissions. The second one, we're actually going to go into the Silver Grove of the Stars. And for those, I don't know how many people have read the whole of Silver Wheel or even that bit of it, and it really doesn't matter. But just to share that the Silver Grove of the Stars in the Elven Star teachings, this is the great grove of starlight that is woven around the earth, almost plaited. If you imagine a beautiful silver immense grove of trees that are almost sort of plaited or woven around the earth. And it's a star council that really oversees the earth's evolution. Really commanded, if you like, and held by souls who've actually incarnated here, who've actually known what it is to walk a path of peace on the earth, realization and whole remembrance. So it's a consciousness and a wisdom that really knows what it's like to be here, to be a star soul here upon the earth. So it's a very beautiful sphere of guidance. So that's what we'll be traveling into in our second transmission. But the first one, I just wanted to invite us into the Elven Grove that I was, it's my own part of my own soul essence. It holds this grove, and I just know it as a white starlight grove deep in the Emerald Forest. And laid into the floor at the center of this grove is a flower of life pattern that's just composed of 1,000 gems of elven white starlight. If you can feel that, can't you? So I invite us there because also I wanted to say this as part of the call. It's like I couldn't access the starry realms at all before going deep within the earth. I couldn't even think about it, and felt as sort of I couldn't, and I didn't want to even. So it was a startlement to me as I traveled deeper and deeper into the earth over the years. It was actually a huge discovery, which so many people just know, but for me it was a huge discovery that these shining ones who I was listening to actually came from the stars. And tracing my own star lineage came through traveling into the earth. That was how that unfolded. It was though the inner cosmos just opened up within the earth for me. And that's really the energy of this elven white starlight temple space I want to invite us first into. So it's a very, very grounded starlight experience. So I'm going to invite us into, to each of us, and I will try the drumming, but I do want to speak at the same time. So I'm wondering if I need to surrender the drumming for this one. Yes, I might. I'll tell you what, if I do a little test on whether you can still hear my voice when I'm speaking at the same time as the drum is sounding. And then I'll know, because I'm reluctant to surrender the drum, but I will do if need be. It's my staple here. So I will, yes. So if I will just do the first little intro to the grove, and then you can give me a thumbs up or down on whether you could hear. Tinyarate. And so we're deep in the emerald forest of summer. The trees heavy with leaves. And we come to the white starlight grove of the Elven Ones. Okay, if you just let me know if you were getting the full spectrum of voice and drum. Super, yay, that's wonderful. That's how I love to do these transmissions with both, so I'll carry on. Denyai. And what I want to invite each one of you is that you are actually entering the Elven Grove and sitting yourself at the center of the flower of life. It's composed of this thousands upon thousands of white starlight gems. Kityane. So we can feel the high frequencies of this space. And we can allow ourselves to experience everything in the body that doesn't yet feel in resonance with this sphere. The tightness, or the unworthiness, or the sense of grief that arrives in the body, that seals itself up. From this starlight embodiment. And I want to invite us into this as a space of release for everything within the body that resists your star embodiment. That actually finds it hard to imagine that you can or ever will fully embody this star energy. That the realms can be interwoven as one. And I'm inviting those energies to release. First, we must acknowledge their presence. Allow them to arise into awareness. The aspects of self that are afraid of this expansion. The parts of ourselves to which it's deeply unfamiliar. And you can just see yourself as resting in the center of that elven white starlight. That connects to the oldest starlight of your own soul. You can really use your breath to move it through your body. And movement if you need to. And if you need to sound, Kia tanaya koro tononaka atichono. Really accepting that message from the Shining Ones that it is time. It is time to become this that you are. Time to embody this. Time to stop hiding. Time to lose the divisions that have separated one realm from another. We can acknowledge there is an energy on this earth that has not wanted us to remember. That rather is the energy that's become part of every being participating in this experience to some level or other. It is a kind of emptiness and teaches us to seek energy from outside of ourselves, rather than knowing this deep and immortal fountain of all that we are. And we just are releasing our agreements with that energy. There is a sovereign declaration on earth for the people of the stars, for all beings to remember themselves as they truly are. And any energies that want to make us believe that it is not safe to be this here, we just release that illusion. That is just purely untruth. It's actually our deepest safety, groundedness, and reality to become that which we are. To remember. And the awareness is not about going out there. And while we might have those beautiful soul travels, this is actually this beautiful collapse of the dimensions, one into another, the realms becoming interwoven once more. The starriness of presence, of presence, of presence. And within the sphere of this energy and remembrance, we allow ourselves in this moment to release any aspects that are no longer congruent with what we are becoming. The versions of self, any fragility, unworthiness, fear, self-protectiveness, that we are ready to release. Allowing it to be returned to source, the quantum starlight sphere of this grove, Korotoi. And most of all, the illusion of emptiness. Not the emptiness of wisdom, but the other one that's an absence of self. The story that we don't really exist as souls. These beautiful, immortal, celestial trees of remembrance, of many realms, of journeys, of gifts, unique wisdom, a cascade of so much remembrance, everything that we need residing within to arrive into this moment. Just allow some of those otherworldly codes of the soul to download in this moment, to arrive here in their pure form. That which you are ready to receive. This immortal and beautiful abundance. Of the old and immortal starlight souls that we are. Holding everything that we need. And now, just gently having allowed that first activation, I want to invite us back to our physical bodies, just stepping the order of our attention from that elven grove, arising from the flower of life, giving thanks to the white starlight elven elders, and passing back into the emerald forest, of summer, and then stepping the order of our attention back to where we are in this moment. So we just allow all that we've brought through to be present with us. But again, it's just shifting the order of our attention. It's not now putting that away somewhere else. We can hold. We're really moving into a time and an embodiment where we can hold and be all of this in a really beautiful, grounded, real way. So just that's beautiful. What I can feel is like now we are that silver starlight grove of elders, which we already were, and it's just stepped forward into consciousness. It's really beautiful. So I'll just give us a moment just to come back from that one, and I'm just going to do a little. Francesca, would you give me a thumbs up if I'm right? Are we finishing at 1:30? Is that correct? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So timing is always interesting with this work. I have to work quite hard on that. So I'm going to invite us in a moment on a journey. But yeah, if you just anything you need to do, take a drink of water, or just to bring yourself back from that one, just stretch your body a little. So the next one will be a continuation of this, which we've begun. Stay with our journey. There's a beautiful dog lying, who I can see in Jackie's picture. That's rather lovely, beautiful. Sort of makes me think of the Syrian beings lying there. Kitiani. Okay, so we're going to go into the Silver Grove of the Stars, and we're going to I'm going to share with you a beautiful practice that I was gifted for the weekend ceremony of the Silver Grove of the Stars in Avalon this weekend. I don't know how much you get the background noise. I'm actually in a really noisy spot in Avalon where all the delivery trucks for the local carpet shop come in. So I think that's their reversing noise, if anyone can hear that. Yeah, my place here is a definite it's a teaching in that the beauty of the many realms, and being able that we can be this wherever we are. The stronger this embodiment becomes, the less that sense of fragility is present. And I found, for instance, where I'm living now, I mean, I'm right in the center of all the concrete and all the heaviest energies of Glastonbury, where the drunk fights happen at night, and the shouting, the screaming, the rows. And we just knew it was the right place to be. Which doesn't mean that we always love that we're here. But at the same time, if anyone tried to move me, I couldn't be moved. It's my soul knows this is the spot right now. And it's been it's a huge yew tree outside my flat. That's the only bit of greenery. And it's just really feels to me like it's that just stepping deeper and deeper into the fact these immortal structures of the soul and the starlight soul are infinitely powerful and invulnerable. And as they come back online and as they integrate through our whole being, that's what it feels like this initiation for me has been, is to really accept the deep and beautiful strength that's been gifted through this awakening. Going from being a very, very fragile person who couldn't even walk down a street 10 or 15 years ago without feeling like I was just falling apart. It's really an extraordinary journey to experience this now, this sense of deep groundedness and strength. So there we go. That's the transmission from the carpet delivery truck arriving. I just, I want us to travel into the Silver Grove of the Stars, and we're going to ask some really big questions. And when I was given this teaching, and I always work with them with myself first, which it worked beautifully. And then I thought it'll be so interesting with a group to see whether we can ask these absolutely immense questions that in many circumstances, it's like you need your vision quest, be fasting in the mountains or whatever it is to receive the answers. And yet I'm kind of receiving through the grace of the teachings and all the energies we're working with that actually these beautiful, huge answers can arise and be gifted with real immediacy and simplicity. So we're going to ask the 4 destiny questions, and I know that all of you will be connected in with yourself at this level already. And what it is an invitation for an expansion into your higher destiny, which you're already aware of, but this is an opportunity to expand to its next level. That's the phrase I'm getting, because it's like this process of the dawn is this continual expansion of what's possible that literally opens portal by portal with every celestial and earthly cycle. It seems that we just get offered another portal of expansion that wasn't previously even available to consciousness. So I just invite that next one for each of us to be activated and come into awareness through this practice we're going to share. So Vanessa's having quite a journey. There's a there's a staircase, and it's feeling very cosmic because she's moving around her house. Feels like going up into the upper realms. Vanessa, would you give me a thumbs up when you're ready to do the journey? I just want to make sure you're not. Okay, lovely. Okay, so lovely. So I'm just going to invite us now into the Willow Grove, which is the portal of access for the Silver Grove of the Stars. Now, you might find you shoot straight up into the Silver Grove of the Stars. You might be there already, and by all means, go straight there if that's what's happening. But I also invite us to enter this beautiful ancient willow. You can see those massive, broken, ragged shapes of the ancient willow trees, in a circle, those incredible grooved trunks. And at the center, a fire burning. And there's an elder who is guardian of this willow grove. And from the sparks of her fire, they travel upwards, the resins of myrrh, of cedar, of frankincense, arising far up into the skies and the stars above. And a buzzard descends, spiraling from those stars, and lands at the top of her staff. And now this buzzard offers itself as a carrier, as a messenger to carry us up into the silver grove of the stars. And with those immense talons can gently take hold of us, and carry us upwards. Upwards and ever upwards. Ascending until we reach the roots of the silver grove of the stars, the giant trees. And we're traveling upwards amongst those roots that taper downwards. Sapphire, diadems flashing within the silvery roots. And upwards we go, ascending until we land in the center of the silver grove of the stars. The buzzard releasing us to land on the deep emerald moss at its center. And we feel that cathedral of the great trees arching over us in this vast intelligence. Of oldest starlights, galactic guardians, who have realized and remembered the true nature of the earth. Just hear the murmuring music of their intelligence all around. And amongst the trees, around the periphery of the grove, there are 4 archways, one in each of the directions. An archway of shimmering sapphire, archway of silver, an archway of violet, and an archway of gold. And you can feel that you are destined to travel through these. You can feel the call beckoning and the ascent of the great silver trees standing guardian over you. And the call first of the sapphire arch that stands in the east, direction of fire. And you walk from the center of the silver grove of the stars through the sapphire archway. And beneath your feet, there appears a sapphire path, tracing its way across space itself, over the distances between the stars. Arriving at a pod, a chamber of sapphire, into which you enter and sit. Sapphire walls transparent to space itself, curving around you. This is a record chamber of the soul, of incarnational purpose, that holds the galactic and intergalactic records. And within this sphere, ask the question, who am I? And hear the answer echoing from the sapphire walls of the chamber, appearing to you in whichever way it comes. Fears that you cannot remember or you cannot know come up. Release these into this sapphire sphere. And so now you are going to pass from the sapphire dome, back along the sapphire path, through the sapphire arch, back into the center of the silver grove of the stars. your soul answer hasn't completed itself, that you have sent out the call, and the question, the answer, will come to you in perfect timing. Koratana in all its fullness. Koratanya. Kananon nanandandon. And now you turn to face the archway of silver. You can hear its whispering call, and you step across the mossy floor of the silver grove, and you pass through the silver arch, shimmering against space itself, finding a silvery pathway that leads across starry space. Allowing it to lead you beyond and beyond. Arriving at a silvery pod, a silver chamber, floating in space, Kanya, and entering in to sit at its center. And in the center of this space, you ask your second question of destiny. Where do I come from? Once more releasing any blocks against remembrance. Allowing the doorways of pure memory and pure knowing to open. And so, when you are ready, leave the silver chamber and pass back along the silvery path, crossing space once more to travel through the silver arch. Back into the center of the silver grove of the stars. And now you turn to face the west, the place where the violet archway shimmers amongst the silver trees, Kanai beckoning and whispering, calling. And you know it is time to pass through this archway, to travel Kanai along the violet pathway that lies on the other side. Kanai, following its trail across space. And before you, a violet domed chamber, floating in space itself. Another record chamber of Akashic memory, the pure records of the soul, and you enter in. You can feel its whispering walls all around you, filled with the pure knowing of your soul, of who you are, why you are here. And this is your third question of destiny. Why am I here? Why am I upon earth? Why have I come? Once again, releasing any blocks, any resistance to memory. Allowing the pure record of your soul to flow to you. Space, and I treading back through the violet archway, back into the center of the silver grove of the stars. And from this place, you are going to turn to face the final archway and your fourth question of destiny. This archway stands in the north, shimmering gold. You can hear its call. It is time to walk through. As you pass through, once again, the pathway appears beneath your feet, golden this time, tracing its way, suspended and yet firm, a pathway that cannot be lost. Arriving at a golden domed chamber. Containing the record of your soul. And you enter in and sit at its center, feeling the whispering of the golden walls all around you. And here you ask your fourth destiny question. Where am I going? Feeling this pathway of true destination, arriving beneath your feet, aligning. This, I invite all the sidetrack destinations, if you like, the lower timelines of the self that get created along the way, to fall away. That we might end up not fulfilling our destiny, somehow lose our destiny, misplace it, walk the wrong path. Just deepening into our faith in our own destiny and perfection. And when you are ready, it is time to step back along the golden pathway, leaving the golden chamber, and walking back across that golden pathway. Through the golden arch, back to the center of the silver grove of the stars. And here, feel those four lights dancing within you: gold, violet, silver, and sapphire. This constellation of your own higher purpose and destiny, and your expanded remembrance in this moment. Just taking a moment to celebrate that, and honor yourself for accessing this. And now gently, the buzzards begin to swoop in overhead. We give our thanks to the silver grove, knowing it's a sphere that's always there for us to come to for cosmic guidance. Concerning our higher destiny and purpose at any time. And we allow the buzzards to pick us up, swooping down, carrying us down, 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 amongst the silvery roots, descending back down to the ground, amongst the willow trees, bowing our thanks to the elder who still stands there tending to the fire. And then allowing our consciousness to return to this world, this time, this moment, just shifting the order of our consciousness back to where we are, our physical bodies. So that's a very immense and expanded journey to have taken. So we're just gently allowing the layers of ourselves to come together in this moment. And if anyone wants to take a moment to record anything that's come through while the vibrational memory is really present, feel welcome to do so now. I know sometimes while it's still right there, the words carry a vibration that's different to if.
Can you hear me, Helen? Ellen? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, this just felt very familiar. Strangely enough. Even my dog, when we first started, when you started talking, I was sitting across the room, and when you started talking and going into it, before I actually sort of got myself comfortable, she started sighing. Deep sighing.
Oh, how beautiful.
Deep sighing.
I feel that.
I think it's always like a recognition, sighing with recognition.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, we could do, this is kind of exciting. I'm feeling the potentials of what we're doing here. Now I'm getting the hang of this Zoom that kind of we're sitting in circle. It's like, it feels like, we're in the room together, and just like Jackie just initiated speaking, and I'm just realizing we could literally share in circle, just as I do if we were in a workshop, and if anyone feels to share, let me just, we have 10 minutes technically, don't we, Francesca, till the end of our time, and it would be really beautiful to hear from anyone who wants to share. Maybe I'll hand over to you, Francesca, to see if you want to initiate or feel how that might be done.
Wow. I think, I'm not sure recording wise, we might be staying on Jackie. So Jackie, it was lovely that you shared, but maybe go on mute again, see what happens. Thank you so much, Ellen, for that. And would you be happy to take questions or have people share their experience?
Absolutely.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, in that case, let me change this to gallery view. And is anybody here that would like to either ask Ellen a question, I guess from anywhere, whether that's to do with the experience that we've just had or separate to that, or to share anything about their experience just now? Yeah, Elaine.
Hi. Ellen, that was just beyond beautiful. Thank you. I just wanted to share briefly that right at the beginning, when you tested the drum to see whether it was going to work sound-wise, there were tears. I just cried and cried and cried throughout the whole. It was just like, it felt like coming home, a very, very deep remembrance. And there was a huge amount happened, a huge amount that I won't take up the time going into a huge amount. But one thing that really struck me at one point is when you were toning and sounding, and I was doing that too. But at one point your voice became mine. And it's like there was no separateness. And I don't think I've ever experienced that. It was just, I was opening my mouth to tone and your voice was coming through. It's the only way I can describe it. So I just think there's an awful lot to integrate and to take on board. It was just very profound and very beautiful, and has touched me very deeply. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. I've got to say, I wept a lot of my way through that as well, Ellen, and I feel that that's something I want to do more of with you. I think it's really valuable for me. Was there anybody else that would like to ask a question or share their experience with Ellen, or with all of us, actually? Oh, yes, Lee.
I unmuted. Well, I must say I'm in New York, so what a lovely way for me to start my day. And it's actually my birthday, so this was such an experience. And it was so grounding. I've been going through my own not transition, but my own transformation, my own movement, and it just kind of, I saw myself in the grove and being there, and just really, it grounded so much of what I've been going through and what I've been learning and putting together, that it was just such a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee. Anybody else like to share or ask a question?
Sorry, could I jump in once again with a question, please, Ellen? Throughout all that happened there for me, and there was a lot, there was just a wolf kept being with me. Any thoughts on my wolf?
Thing that comes straight away to me is that's really to do with the teacher and the way shower energy. The wolf is coming up really strongly. It's encouraging the stellar souls to really you need to teach and to share your reality.
Ellen, just very quickly, can you talk up a bit when you answer? I think you're just very quiet again. Thank you, Elaine. Deb, Deb Steele, did you want to say something? It's your birthday too, isn't it? We've got two birthday girls today.
And my 65th, and a very, very wonderful way to, there's a part of me that is still deeply in it, Ellen. That was unlike anything that I have experienced before. And I have experienced a lot of journeying in different ways. So I just want to add my thanks. I know that this is going to be resonating with me for a long time, that I will be, well, I'm almost beyond words, but thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Our soul energy is really powerful and really present. And what Lee said about feeling that the groundedness of it, it's like we're this shared, incredibly grounded, starry field. It's very distinct to this gathering. These creations come up, these soul co-creations so uniquely, and I'm feeling that as the unique quality of this one, of us being together right now, very strongly. Yeah.
I have a question.
Who's that?
Me, Jackie.
Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Ellen, how important do you feel it is for us to recognise that that we have the connection? Obviously we do, hugely, immensely important, but how can we, as a collection of elders, of women who work and aware of trying to serve the planet and many and beings on it. How important is it for us to recognize, to be able to share with others that there is a Syrian connection?
Syrian connection specifically.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't say that any connection is more important than any other, but as you're asking that question, I can feel that the Syrian energy, it's that level, it's a very high level of guardianship, and it actually expands us into a level of guardianship almost beyond where we're trying to help anyone, because it's really seen from that level of divine perfection, and it's actually fostering that perfection through expressing those pure templates within the self that then uplift that, raise that perfection into consciousness within others, within themselves. So it's, I feel the Syrian energy, as you asked about, is a very specific level of guardianship, and really links to our perfection, helping at the level of the pre-existent perfection that already is.
Thank you. Ellen, it's still very, very quiet, and the camera isn't coming back to you.
Was that audible?
Oh, I can hear it, but it's not. But the camera is voice activated, and we're all activating, but you're not.
Okay.
You're beyond the camera. Is there anybody else that would like to share their experience or ask Ellen a question?
Hi everyone, it's Debs.
Hi Debs.
Hi Francesca. Hello, greetings. Hello sister from the stars. I wanted to add my deep soul felt appreciation and my love to you and to this collective, and to you to honor your journey here, and your deep strength in creating this safe space and this passageway for people to move back and forth along, so that we can consciously remember part of our DNA, part of our template, a very, very important part that I feel is so deeply needed by every soul and by Gaia herself. It was, I'm sorry, I've got so hungry, I burnt so much energy, I've been munching, but it was a very deeply moving and also a sweet relief to travel there with you and with all my sisters here. So you've created a true piece of magic in opening this way and holding it so bravely and courageously on your own, no doubt, for many years. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's been very important for me to go back to what's been, what disappeared from us and what didn't want to be seen and felt, but now it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on the Syrian, every year, 7th of July, that Syrian gateway, open she comes. There she is.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, utterly. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
I had so many wonderful experiences that I just want to say thank you for leading so brilliantly and strongly and connectedly. I had a lot of openings in my body and energy, just that has been kind of blocked in a certain area, just opened and released. And in the end, I was just also then was going down, and then the energy at the end was up, and I just feel this flow in my body that's feels delicious and strong and powerful, but the whole thing leaves me feeling so grounded. And that's really, I like how this feels. I like how grounded I feel with expansion. Yeah. Which kind of seems kind of contradictory, but I know it's not, and I get it, So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Laurie. Anyone else want to share? I'm sort of looking at the time, and I'm not sure I made it clear that we were going to do 90 minutes anyway. But you were going to share something about your retreats, Ellen. So shall I just see, does anybody else want to say anything? And have you all got a little bit, tiny bit more time for Ellen just to share some information on her retreats? Is that okay? Cool, brilliant. And anybody else want to talk before I hand over to Ellen? Oh, okay, I don't think I've missed anybody looking at this whole selection of you. It's just great. Okay, Ellen, if you can talk
I'll
really.
try and talk up a bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the one coming to mind as you say that, because it feels connected to the energy of this group as we've been working together, is the Starline retreat, and we're going to go and be with the White Lions in Timbavati in South Africa in November. So this has arisen through serendipity, through the connection between Francesca and I, and it's really a coming together of these two beautiful star lineages on the planet who've been guardian star lineages for so very, very long. It's going to be extraordinary, the White Lions with the Elven Ones. And in a sense, I can't say very much about it because these magical co-creations happen just as it's happened between us. I mean, this came through uniquely for us, and it'll be the same with the retreats. So yeah, and I'm just aware, I feel that there are these real divine meetings happening amongst us and coming together again, and that there's a really deep destiny at work with it. So I only put it out in the sense of if there's that destiny connection and calling, and it's personal, it's deeply personal work, but it's also planetary and cosmic and extraordinary. So there's a sort of service aspect that arises as well. We just know when we're called to be one of the ones awakening that. And even if we don't know in every part of ourselves how on earth we do that, something extraordinary occurs when your feet hit that place on the earth, and those occurrences start unfolding. So if anyone feels called, to be part of that, we have, there's still a few places on the Starline retreat. That feels like a very high level of service occurring with that. And also I feel a deep remembrance activation in the way that the Elven Ones hold this space of remembrance that we can feel. I think equally the White Lions hold that a transmission and an activation of remembrance on a level that's quite extraordinary, that one walks away with that activation of remembrance at a very deep cellular level. So then there's and that's in November, which is going to be extraordinary. And Francesca will be with me there, so I can't wait for that. Lioness magic by my side. And then also we are gathering in Wales again, so if anyone feels particularly called into, and that feels, it's a different calling. It's those deep beautiful pods. I say pods, but I see them as these beautiful pod seeds, light codes of our own Lemurian and earlier starlight ages of the earth remembrance, really accessing specifically those gifts deep within ourselves. And I feel that one has a more gentle spirit. It'll be equally profound, but I see it glowing with these sort of rose colors and golden and rose. It's got this soft presence, that gathering. So that'll be in Wales in September. So again, I mean, Wales just holds that deep memory within the land. The records get really, really deeply activated there. So if anyone feels called to that activation of that remembrance into the land of Wales, that'll be unfolding there, and really held by the energy of the Shining Ones, that returning of the swan feather barges over the moonstone waters, and the codes of peace returning to this world, linking very much to the evening star as well, and those energies and celestial templates and real sort of palaces of peace, if you like, that are reactivating from that realm. So yes, again, I put it there as if it resonates and there's the soul calling, because our meetings are very divinely timed and precious. So yes, those are the two big ceremonies of this year. But I have to say, for this moment, thank you so much for all being here, because at the human level as well, it's a huge initiation for me. And I just feel that it's been an incredible experience, and you've been the most amazing group to be with. It's felt, I know we haven't talked amongst ourselves so much, but at the soul level, it just felt like we were in this extraordinary harmony and this deep, grounded, old starry and sweetness amongst us, this beautiful sphere. So much. Francesca, are you still hearing? Francesca looks, oh, she's back. You look like you'd frozen for a moment. I think you're on mute as well, Francesca. I can see the little mute button in front of you.
You're absolutely right. I think the camera's also stuck on me for some reason.
Right.
But thank you so much. And Lee has said, could I put more information up here so that everyone can learn more? I'll put it in the group somewhere, Lee, so that it's more accessible. And people can get hold of you anyway through your website, can't they, Ellen? The www.elentompkins.com.
Yeah.
I think. And I think that we're probably going to do some regular calls.
Yes.
So it looks like there's plenty of interest. So I would love to do that if you're up for that. Excellent. I can see all the thumbs going up. That's great. Well, I guess we've gone over the hour and a half, and everybody might be needing to go to the loo and eat and that kind of thing. So thank you all so much for coming and being part of this, I think, groundbreaking work that you're doing, Ellen, and that it just feels so right that it's such a part of the Silver Tent. So thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.